Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Hi everyone, welcome to Dharma Earth's Dose of Dharma, and this is your dose of Dharma for today. Today, let us go to the discussion on what we have just covered, which is the blessings on attending upon parents, supporting wife and children, and also an honest occupation. So there are some questions from some of our listeners, so let's see. The first one, Bande, how do we increase our ability to face or overcome problems that happen in the family? So how do we overcome problems? This is pretty common, right? Because every family have their stories, right? There are some things in a family that they have their own difficulties. In Chinese culture, we say that there's always the difficult book to talk about in every family. So, what are some tools in the teachings of the Buddha that can help us to overcome difficulties when we are facing these difficulties and problems in the family? So, for us, one very important thing is the cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, which what we call the Brahma Viharas, or the 4 divine abidings. And why is that so? If you really look at them, these 4 divine abidings, they are actually practices in the Buddha's teachings to help us to learn, to maintain, or to manage our emotions. You see a lot of things that happen in the family or even between people. A lot of it happens when sometimes we talk and something displeases us, something displeasing happen between you and the other person, and then maybe it's a word, maybe it's something they did. Then after that, our emotions start to flare up, right? Then when our emotions start to flare up and we follow our emotions, then things get really, really dirty and bad. Isn't that so? Things start to get ugly. But if we learn, if we can train our mind to manage our emotions with the 4 qualities of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, with the training of these 4 qualities, you will find that you will be able to manage your emotions more easily. Because these 4, what is loving kindness? Loving kindness is the cultivation of the wish for beings to be free from suffering. And so if you cultivate it and train it until it becomes a habit, it becomes a mental habit, it becomes part of you, it becomes part of your character. And no matter who you see, you wish them to be happy. If you see your family, you always wish them to be happy, free from suffering. Then you'll find that a lot of the things that is a cause for anger will not be a cause for anger anymore. Like that. Because we have more love in our mind already. Then compassion, wishing for beings to be free from suffering. Wishing for suffering beings or beings doing evil or doing unwholesome deeds to be free from suffering. When we really, really train our mind to have this quality until it becomes part of our character, then we have a mind that doesn't want beings to suffer. So if what they're doing, what they're saying, and maybe sometimes even what they're thinking is detrimental, brings affliction to themselves or bring affliction to others or to the affliction of them and others, then actually they are suffering, right? If they will not suffer now, they may suffer in the future. But if we have this quality, then we will be able to arise compassion instead of anger towards them. And then sympathetic joy, we wish for ourselves and also other beings for their righteous prosperity and righteous qualities not to disappear. It's a kind wish for them not to lose all their good things, right? Their righteous prosperity and all that. So in this way we show love to them by wishing for them not to lose it, right? Also kindness, showing love and kindness to them, actually. And equanimity, we understand that beings are the owners of their own reactions that was caused by their own actions, right? So when we understand like this, we understand, oh yes, even though we wish for maybe your son or your daughter to score well in his exams or to do well, but if they never put in the hard work, they never put in the causes, then naturally they will have a bad reaction, right? Then they may not make it to university, they may not make it to the specific course that they want to take. So when we understand, when we reflect on equanimity, and then we understand that beings are owners of their own reactions, which are all caused by their actions, then we will be able to let go of a lot of defilements in the mind. And we will be more practical. We will be more pragmatic towards their situation. When we are pragmatic, then we will not doubt so much into that negative emotions that arises. But instead, we are able to accept. And when you can accept that negative emotion, that uncomfortable feeling, just fades away gradually. And when it fades away gradually, we will be in a better state of mind to think what can be done, what went wrong, what do we do for the next step. If not, sometimes it's very, very difficult to think when you're in a negative emotion, right? It's not easy to think rationally when we are being negative or when we are angry. Isn't that so? So these 4 qualities, loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, when we can develop these 4 qualities as kind of a mental habit, and better if it sinks really, really deep into your character, then I can guarantee you that you will be a really, really, really much more happier person. This is one thing. And also when you face problems in a family, whether it's an argument or whether it's just a difference of ideas, you will be able to deal with it with a more clearer mind, with better emotions, with a mind that is more associated with wisdom. Because negative emotions, according to Buddhism, negative emotions will blind you. It will hinder with one using the wisdom. So that is why when we are in negative states of mind, our mind is always never associated with wisdom. So this is your dose of Dhamma for today. Hopefully this first suggestion will be able to help you guys have a understanding about these 4 qualities. And then hopefully it will encourage everyone to be able to develop these 4 qualities as part of your character and be a more loving person and know how to love without hurting yourself. And hopefully when you develop these 4 qualities, you will be able to face problems in your family with much more composed mind and much more rational mind. And this is a dose of Dhamma for the day. So I wish you to be well, peaceful and happy. And may the Triple Gem bless all of us to be able to attain path, fruition and Nibbana as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.